What's good? This is Marcus Fingaz, Dafingaz, back with the Sampleist, and in this video we're going to talk all about the PulseSetter Sounds Handpan Machina. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Before we get into that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Sampleist here on YouTube for more great videos like this one that you are about to watch. What is Handpan Machina? That's how I'm going to say it. It is a handpan library that was created in collaboration with Gregory Trippy. It includes multi-sampled plucks, 4 round robins. You have 63 processed halo plucks, 51 processed halo pads, 342 natural halo loops, 111 unnatural or processed loops. You have 175 instruments. You have per layer sequencers. You have effects sequencers, all put into these great categories: action, dark and horror, documentary, acoustic, featured, menus and multi-sampled. You have pads and drones, suspense and tension. You have these 2 XY pads. One XY pad is for performing and automating the layers. The second XY pad allows you to perform and automate the effects. You have a lock per layer where you can lock the layers. You have 2 customizable effects macros, all housed in just under 16 gigabytes, clocks in at about 15.8 gigabytes. And at the time of this video recording, you can get Handpan Machina from PulseSetter Sounds on sale for the intro price of $69.99. That is $69.99. It will normally go back to its normal price of $99.99 once the sale is over. So right now, at the time of this recording, it's on sale for $69.99. It does require the full version of Contact 5.7 or higher to use it in Contact. So let's get into the plugin. So you see it's all housed really pretty much on one page. Here is the XY pad on the left. This is where you can choose your different layers. You have layer 1 up here, layer 2 right here. You see the numbers there in the corner, 3, 4 at the bottom. Your XY pad for automation, where you can record the automation. You can play it back, or you can have it stop while you're playing back the note. You can choose your different layers here. All those different presets. PLK is pluck. PAD is pad, obviously. MSMP is multi-sampled plucks, I believe. NL is the natural loops, and there's a lot of natural loops. UNL is the unnatural loops or the processed loops. So there you go. That's what some of those abbreviations mean there. I'm just going to play the sound out the box. I have over here some of the presets, and you'll see a couple of presets as we do the preset overview. I'm just going to play the plan into action preset. And you see it evolving because there's some automation there. If you want, you can record different automation by hitting record here, and you can move this around as you're holding down the note, and as you play back, it will play back that automation. If you don't want the automation to play back, you can just hit the play and it won't play the automation. So it won't move between those layers there, and you can do the same with the effects side. We'll get into the layers a little bit later. And what you can do here is you can lock. So right now, I believe it doesn't clearly indicate. What would be great is if the lock was unlocked when it's unlocked, and then the lock was locked when it's locked. The colors might be helpful. So right now, I believe blue is locked, but don't quote me on that. Would be better to have a better indication there of when those layers are locked. But I believe blue means it's locked. So what I can do is I can, let's say, choose another sound here. Let's go to a pluck, and hopefully you can hear the sound changing there. We can move this around for some space automation between space and color. So space is on your x-axis and color on the y-axis there, and you can move that. You can also automate. You can set your control parameters, your MIDI control parameters, to automate the XY pads on both of these pads. And then of course you can record. So if I hit record, and then I hit play, it will do that. And then if I hit stop, it won't play back anything. Let's go back to our default plan into action preset here. And then if you want to do more, so you have your master filter down at the bottom here. So I can turn sort of like the filtering, looks like the low end there. And if I hit the edit option here, this is where you can get to more parameters. So I can edit each layer. So with each layer, you have mix, where you can adjust the volume, the pan, the tuning, the octave, the ADSR there. So for example, for layer 1 here, let's mute the other layer. So this is layer 1 by itself. I can turn it down. And you can have all that fun there. You can make it more like a pad with the attack up. where it fades in. So yeah, you can play with ADSR there. You also have filter options. This is where you get into the sequencing. So there is a sequencer here for the filter where you can have that on or off. By turning it on, you can have the filter sequence by cutoff resonance. You can have a low pass filter or a band pass or a high pass. Adjust the resonance. You can have like a low pulse there, so you can really use this to create great pulses there. You can adjust the rate and the steps down there. You have your distortion where you can add in drive. You can dampen it. You can add, again, another sequencer for your distortion. Then you have your low frequency oscillator, so we can turn this on. You can adjust the rate here. And this does tie in directly to your filter, so your low frequency oscillator may override what you have set for your sequencer here, so keep that in mind. You can adjust the shape, sine, saw, square, random, I believe that is. You can fade it in with different steps there. So really, this is a sound design plugin. So you can create all kinds of sounds. You can add some LFO to the space side of things with the same options down there. Let's turn those off. Let's go to envelope. This is where you can have a different sequencer for your envelope. And we can adjust volume, pan, tuning, or cutoff. So let's go with volume. So you hear that fading in. Let's move this up to 30-second. Let's do pan. We can go even shorter with quarter note. Let's play a higher note. There we go. You can do tuning, so you can adjust the tuning of it. Hopefully you hear that. And then, of course, the cutoff, which is another filter. So you have options there. Then we have EQ, your typical EQ, low frequency, low mid, and high frequencies. Then you have your gains there. So you can set the actual frequency here. Let's turn this on. And you can turn it up. And just sweep there if you want to sweep those in and out. So in and out. So built-in EQ. Then you have delay, a built-in delay effect. So we can say I want this delay, eighth note, half note. And then you can adjust the different feedback, and then the dry and the wetness. So if, let's say, I want the dry down, I just want it, or I just want a little bit. And then you can adjust the stereo width of it and the dampening. And then finally you have mute, where you can mute that layer, or you can bypass the effects on the layer. So if I mute the layer when I hit a note, I won't hear anything. If I bypass the effects, I'll just hear the layer by itself, and it might be going through the colored space here. So you have those same options for all 4 layers. And again, remind you the layers are up here in this top left quadrant. So you can adjust these same settings for all 4, and you can add the different effects and things, bypass them. So let's say you want to just have 2 layers. I could bypass the bottom 2 and keep the top 2, or all 4. Let's get to another sound. Let's go to Bomb Squad. I like that one. So let's go to edit again. Now we have color space. So with color, you can edit the color, which is over here. This will be, let's turn this off. We'll move this up here. This is all color, no space. And if we bypass, hopefully you hear the difference there. You might still hear the effects. We'll bypass the effects on these layers. And with color, so you hear what color's doing there. So that's a good way to audition. So there is no solo button here. So a good way to audition the effects or any of the individual layers is to mute the other ones. Or for the effects, I can bypass the effects on the layers and just keep the color layer and do like this to do sort of like a solo of the layer of the effects. So I could add distortion, similar to what you saw up top for the layers. You just don't get the sequencer for the distortion on the effects. And then if you want to have like chords, I can play either octave, major 6, major 7, minor. You might not be able to hear the chord, but it's playing chords there. Then you have convolution reverb. You have all these reverbs here. There's a lot of reverbs built in. So let's say I have a Southern church. Really great for a sound design for like a trailer. And then of course you have another filter where you can adjust the cutoff, the resonancy, and if it's low pass, high pass, or band pass. So we'll bypass that. Now with space, you have, let's bring this down over here. That's all space. And if we bypass the space, so let's say we want to bring in a phaser. So you can hear what that's doing. If you want chorus, actually let's turn off the phaser. You can have chorus here. And then you have delay for space. Hopefully you hear that. We'll turn that off. Then you have the reverb again for space. You can hear that doing its thing. And then we have a convolution. So it's interesting that you also have reverb and the convolution reverb here. So I can go to, let's say, concert hall. Let's turn this one off. Bypass. Hopefully you hear that getting not as powerful with all those effects on. And with both of these, we'll put this right in the middle here. And again, you can record your automation and hit play. It's doing some fun stuff. And then we have master. So with master, this will affect the overall plugin, every sound, every layer, every effect. So you have a master filter here. Same options you saw with the other filters in the plugin. You have your EQ with the same options, low frequency, low gain, high frequency, high gain. You have a compressor here. So this is something you don't see anywhere else in the plugin. A compressor here, so I can say makeup gain, threshold, ratio, attack, mix. So you can have a parallel compression there going on. You also have overall delay. Typically, I would probably just do delay on the individual sounds themselves and not the master. But again, you have that delay, verb, same with verb. Then you have a limiter. So you have your compressor and your limiter with your gain and release. Then you have another master filter. So you have a filter over here. Then you also have a master filter down here. Looks like this might be part of the delay and mute, but I might be wrong there. But you have a master filter here. So if we turn that off and we go back to filter, looks like you can have both options going there. And then bypass. And then under the master section, you have sequence. So you can see the different sequences for the layers. So this is where you can have chord, the arpeggiator, or the sequencer for each of the 4 layers. And again, you see layer 3 is doing something there. Let's mute everything but layer 3. You hear it doing something there. Let's see what layer 1 is doing. Nothing too crazy. Let's go to layer 1. And layer 2, something similar. And layer 3 we heard, and then layer 4. And you can see this is only 4 steps. So again, you have rate here, you have your steps, your octave, your amount, gate, and then you have your mode option here where you can go forward, backwards, forward and backwards, or random. So many options, all housed in this plugin. It looks deceptively small. It's all on one page, but there's a lot built in there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to mute the microphone and go through some of the presets that you see here on the left. I'm just going to drag them in and play them, starting with countermeasures and action. And then I'm going to go through a little bit of each folder here, and you'll hear how some of those sounds sound. All right, here we go. So that is the walkthrough of some of the preset sounds. You might have noticed that I skipped the featured folder. What it looks like is the sounds in the featured folders are basically what the people, maybe even Greg himself, Gregory Trippy, decided was the featured sounds from the plugin. But these are all within the other folders. So you'll see, I think Broken Brain was in Dark and Horror, or maybe Documentary and Acoustic. You got it right, bro. Dark and Horror. So these are basically some of the presets that are in the other folders, but these are featured in this folder. And then menus and multi-sampled, it looks like you can use these, and I might be wrong here, but if you drag this in, I wasn't getting any sound because it looks like you can use this to sort of build your own sound there. So if you want to use these presets as sort of like a starting point, you see some key switches there. If I hit a note here, looks like there's some key switching things and options going on there. So you can use this as a template, as a starting point to build your own sort of layer thing. So if I went to Halo main 3, brought that in, let's say I wanted the PLUCKS light, the pad, saturatosh, the effects, and let's go with dampers. And maybe I can use that to build out my own. I could be wrong there, but that's what it seems like I'm seeing here. I could be wrong there for the menus and multi-sampled option. What we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to a demo that I've created featuring sounds from PulseSetter Sounds, Handpan, Machina. Here we go. So that is the demo. Let's get into it. I'm going to go over the plugins, only the PulseSetter Sounds and Handpan Machina plugins that I use, starting with this pads here. I only use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all the red tracks here are the PulseSetter Sounds Handpan Machina tracks. Starting with this thing, starting at the beginning, this is like a pad that I started with, and it's holding down, I think, like the foundation of the track. And I'm going to bring that over from another screen. If I can find the pads right here. Here we go. Setting the tonal foundation, this is in D minor, so just setting that. I think that's the only time you hear that pad. So only just the intro, 5 bars, 10 seconds or so there. I'm playing that as it comes in. I think this is a default hybrid Halo main 3. I didn't change any settings here. There's no automation going on, so it's just right out the box. And then after that, for this, I wanted to have like a ping at the end of that. So when that plays, I brought in this playable 4 to be the ping, and then that also takes over the melody later on in the track. So here we go with that. Again, nothing too crazy. That's Halo main 3. And the other one was it the same sound? Let's see. I think it's the same sound. Playable 4. Yep. So just playing an octave higher. And let's look at the settings we have. So I see with the ping, I have the pluck here. All the other sounds are the same, but I have the pluck here, and on the pads, I changed that for pads. So I adjusted the Halo main 3 a little bit for the ping sound, and then later in the track, I have that ping sound coming, playing the melody here. Basically D, E, A. You hear some artifacts coming in there. I really like how that was layering some of those sounds. It almost sounds like off rhythm, but I really like how that was sounding. And then we have Iron Man. I really just like the name of that sound. Maybe this could be used in a Marvel trailer. So we're gonna bring this in about the act 1.5-ish, playing this. So you hear that evolving, you hear that delay going there, you see the XY pads adjusting there, and then I have that playing the melody also towards the end. And then again over here. And then at the end, playing some of those chords and stabs. And actually, it's all just playing the one note, but it's just 4 different octaves. So that is the Iron Man. And then we have this other pad, this Machina pad, playing. I'm going to bring this over. This plays starting around halfway through the act 1 there. And as you can see, I bypassed a lot of the effects there. I just wanted, I think what layer 2 was doing a lot of that, that filtering and stuff going on. A lot of those effects happening from layer 2 alone. I really like that it sounded like tremolo strings, but tremolo pads, and I liked that sound there. It comes in again here with just the 1 octave note. And then again there, and then at the end, helping with those stabs. And then last but not least, as you can they're just layering these sounds with all the other stuff going on. I have this playable 11 playing here. I should probably turn that up because you probably didn't hear it in the actual recording. So let me play that in context. And what I just did was added automation so that it just comes in and it doesn't come in any other part. So I really want it to be prevalent there. So let's bring that in one more time. And the track builds from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play just the ending part of just the PulseSetter Sound plugins here, the Handpan Machina, playing from, let's go to this part right here. And you can hear how that builds out. So I really like what PulseSetter Sounds has done with the Handpan in collaboration with Gregory Trippy. This is a great plugin. A couple of things that I would suggest or that I would like a better indication of when this is locked and unlocked. For example, if it can be, I think white is unlocked, but I'm not too sure. But if the lock can actually be unlocked, like right now, and then if the lock can actually be locked when it's locked, that would be great. I would like if there was a randomize button, that would be great. That is a personal preference. Somewhere here that would randomize either the layers or randomize settings. Again, you know I love randomized buttons if you've seen some past reviews here on the Sampleist. And then finally, I would really like if all of those presets could be snapshots. So if I can do a drop down here in Contact and have like the action folder or the documentary or the suspense and tension and see all those folders as snapshots and then go through the presets as snapshots and not have to drag and drop, that would be incredible. If PulseSetter Sounds can consider that, that would be greatly appreciated by me. Otherwise, this is an incredible plugin, great sound. You see the track I created with this. This track was created for a specific library today, so hopefully I'm going to submit it to them, fingers crossed, and they will enjoy it. But yeah, shout out to PulseSetter Sounds for these great sounds in Handpan Machina. Shout out to Gregory Trippy for allowing them to use his talent to build this. And shout out to you for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe here on the Sampleist for more great videos just like this, and we will see you in the next video. All right, peace.